obviously we see her shooting, we see her passing, we see all that stuff on the floor, but a lot of that comes from a lot of hard work. She's in the gym almost all the time working on her game.
Let's run that. I think her ability to lead this team as a rookie, she's really starting to step into that role, and I think that's exciting to see as well.
Person that's got that cachet, that marketability, that could have been selfish, was selfless, and thought not just about herself, but everybody.
Is Caitlin Clark the best basketball coach in history? The unexpected rise of the Indiana Fever may be poised to worsen significantly. What would happen to Christie's team if Larry Bird joined, according to insiders? What would Clark think too? This might have a significant negative impact on the Fever's chances of winning a championship as well as the WNBA overall. Music. Before we go any further, would you kindly subscribe if you're enjoying this video? Over 98% of people watch without doing so, and your support is really helpful to us. I'm appreciative. Returning to the narrative, it's absurd to consider how little was known about the Fever only a short time ago. In addition to their problems, they were at the bottom of the league.
About greats in this game. You know, the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and the Steph Currys, they are putting her in that category, the Diana Taurasi's.
Clark now has an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that will include her own signature shoe. The deal is the richest sponsorship contract.
The Fever battled to even make it to the postseason for 7 challenging seasons. The venue itself felt lifeless, and the stands were frequently just half full. While the Fever appeared to be stuck in a never-ending remodeling cycle, other teams saw Indiana as an easy victory. Everything had an impact on the situation without offering a clear way forward. Caitlin Clark showed up. After selecting the top college basketball talent with their first pick, the Fever made headlines overnight. People who had never considered the Fever were suddenly taking notice. However, pressure follows excitement. Clark wasn't your average prospect. He was a standout player at Iowa, known for his ability to make half-court shots and easily accumulate triple-doubles. Could she maintain that level of dominance in the WNBA? There were huge expectations. Indiana was looking for a player with the potential to drastically change their destiny, not just a good rookie. Clark was seen as a generational talent capable of saving the franchise. Surprisingly, instead of merely meeting expectations, she has surpassed them. Clark has demonstrated via his performance that he understands the game even as a rookie. When it counts most, she often leads her team in rebounds, points, and assists like a seasoned pro. Her influence extends much beyond the box score. Because of her audacious strategy, intense passion, and capacity to unite her team, Clark has revitalized the Fever by making every game feel like an event. Previously uninterested fans are suddenly paying attention to the Fever. Suddenly, people who had never seen the WNBA are watching the games with Clark. It's not just about winning. It's about producing basketball and Indiana must-watch content once more.
I, had teammates that were there with me for 4 years and were really comfortable playing with me. And then you come here and you have to learn your teammates in 2 weeks before you step on the court, and that can be really hard.
Let's run that. I think her ability to lead this team as a rookie, she's really starting to step into that role, and I think that's
Furthermore, Clark's influence is changing the corporate world in addition to basketball. Sales of season tickets have increased by over 400%. Even though they don't entirely understand why she has become such a phenomenon, sponsors are coming forward to be associated with her name, eager to embrace the Caitlin Clark effect. The story is told in the stadiums. Fans are no longer the only ones occupying the empty chairs. Celebrities, influencers, and others who were previously uninterested in women's basketball are now joining the new fervor on the court. Clark is quite intense. After she touches the ball, every possession feels alive, but her impact doesn't end after the game is over. She now has a voice on the team and could influence coaching and direction decisions. That brings us back to the primary question. What would happen if Larry Bird entered an already tense situation? Music. Imagine the intensity spearheaded by one of the most influential people in basketball history. On paper, it looks like the perfect matchup with the most promising new star in the WNBA. Bird's qualifications are unmatched. As a player, he won 3 NBA titles and 3 MVP awards, making him one of the most well-known people in sports history. His career established a standard that few others could match. Additionally, He had a significant influence when coaching the Indiana Pacers. Bird not only won games but also made the team a formidable contender in the Eastern Conference. His vision and leadership enabled Indiana basketball to continue to be respected and competitive. He has a track record of building lineups, making difficult decisions, and fostering long-term success. The franchise might have a lot of potential if he applied the same knowledge to the Fever.
Shooting, we see her passing, we see all that stuff on the floor, but a lot of that comes from a lot of hard work. She's in the gym almost all the time working on her game.
Like I said, she's a special player. She commands so much defensive attention. And I think that's one of the things that separates her in terms of...
The Indiana basketball run is closely associated with Larry Bird's. His impact has always been felt, from his time as an Indiana State College student to his time founding the Pacers. One problem is that he has never worked in women's basketball. Raises important issues. NBA coaching is not the same as WNBA coaching. The dynamics and manner of play are different, and experience has shown that men's coaches don't always make the necessary adjustments. In addition, WNBA supporters are devoted to and defensive of the league's culture. As a result, such an activity would arouse suspicion as well as excitement. The potential impact on Caitlin Clark makes it particularly intriguing. A Larry Bird mentorship might be transformative, as Clark develops not only as a player but also as the team's face and one of the league's biggest players. His knowledge, experience, and viewpoint will be helpful. It goes beyond simply honing one's skills on the court. It also means knowing how to handle being the center of attention for a team and a public figure responsible for a league's destiny. With Bird's help, she could gain an advantage that increases her power.
Only been around since 2010, but she's the first player ever to win Rookie of the Month and Player of the Month.
Person that's got that cachet, that marketability, that could have been selfish, was selfless, and thought not just about herself, but everybody.
The main concern is whether the strong personalities of Clark and Bird would work well together, or if they would clash over vision and leadership. Bird's participation may have an impact on how the general public views women's basketball off the court. The headlines only mention his name. Furthermore, the focus would only grow because the Fever is already evolving into more than just a squad and a cultural icon. The stakes are quite high. Caitlin Clark, who has increased the team's potential and rekindled the Fever, is at the center of it all.
WNBA.
Her arrival completely changed the franchise to this day, resulting in sold-out arenas, a 400% increase in ticket sales, and a flurry of business deals. The bar is raised even farther by the idea of including Larry Bird. His legendary stature might increase Clark's influence and propel women's basketball to new heights. However, the dynamic may also upset the balance of leadership within the team. This leads us to the larger picture. Is this the beginning of a new trend? NBA players joining the WNBA will help shape its future. It's a feasible solution that might completely transform the sport. It's important to remember where the Fever was in order to understand how far things have come. The team failed to make the playoffs despite playing music for 7 seasons in a row. Opponents thought Indiana would win easily. There weren't many admirers, and the space felt deserted. The team's never-ending cycle of rebuilding appeared to have no obvious way out. Next was Caitlin Clark. Everything suddenly changed when the Fever chose her with their first-round pick. Due to his reputation for dominating college basketball, making triple-doubles, and making easy half-court shots, Clark was under tremendous pressure coming into the contest. The main concern was whether she could perform as well in the WNBA. After graduating from college, it was unknown if Caitlin Clark would succeed in the WNBA. Expectations were very high, particularly for a team in dire need of a turnaround. The amazing thing is that by dominating games with the elegance of a seasoned pro, Clark has not only met but surpassed their expectations. She has made plays, scored baskets, and grabbed rebounds when her team needed them most, even as a rookie. However, there are other ways to measure her influence besides numbers. The Fever has become a basketball game that everyone needs to watch because of Clark. Both seasoned WNBA fans and novices who had never watched women's basketball before have been enthralled by her extraordinary abilities, unwavering passion, and innate ability to bring teammates together. The effects are felt far beyond the court. Season ticket sales have increased by 100%. Additionally, the franchise's profits are growing. Did I try to get involved in the Clark boom? Money is being thrown into the market by sponsors. Rena's half-vacant eyes are now full of life, even if they don't realize it. Fans are no longer the only people occupying the seats. Celebrities, influencers, and up-and-coming athletes are among the participants. Others are inspired to join in by Clark's infectious enthusiasm on the floor. She may now influence coaching and direction decisions in addition to being an exceptional athlete. And her impact on the team keeps growing. This brings us full round to the main query. What would happen if Larry Bird showed up? Imagine Caitlin Clark, who has already established herself as the WNBA's face, collaborating with Larry Bird, one of the most well-known figures in basketball history. Although this approach seems to be the ideal combination of experience and growing confidence, it is difficult to assess its impact. As a player, Larry Bird's record speaks for itself. He set the standard for dominance in the sport in addition to winning 3 NBA titles and 3 MVP honors. He later demonstrated his ability to lead both on and off the court as head coach of the Indiana Pacers, turning them into a serious contender in the Eastern Conference.